Right, just for a little bit of context, Nick does a great job. This is a show jumper. She's done through the, what, meter 30s, has she? I think so. Yeah, she's done through 135. And with the jumpers, obviously she's got an incredibly good hind end, so that's not something I'd ever be critical or look to change. If she were to be an event horse, certainly that would bring you some challenges. We've had a couple in the past that have been along the same lines, not quite so extreme as that, and they can be really challenging with a drop landing or a hanging log or dropping into water. With all those horses, especially on that drop sort of situation, is that you'd really want to support their head and honestly try and push their butt down mid-flight. For the jump application, it's really not a huge downside. It's tricky with her because when she gets the tiniest bit behind your leg, then she starts to get squirrely, and that makes it very, very unpredictable and difficult to deal with. But the same concepts in a less extreme case would be used with a very large majority of the horses out there. The question was asked as far as veterinary stuff. She's had a very extensive workup, and she's absolutely in perfect health. It's just basically her breeding would lead most of the lineage in that bloodline do tend to exhibit very similar behavior. So it's it is what it is, but frankly, she's got so much scope and it's just very, very easy for her. So it's a pretty special horse. She wants to always be just a fraction on the hollow side, right? So don't be afraid to be just a little more insistent, basically. She stays in a rounder shape. Just stop for a second. And then just in between, I probably think kind of as far as amount of contact, right? Kind of there. In a real basic thing, coming to the fence or sort of through the turn, sometimes she gets a little squirrely, gets a little left, right, whatever. I think just wrap your leg on her, and even if it ends up being a fraction more into your hand, so into like that, and I would just basically stay there. Now, if you're coming out of the turn, I think primarily you got two options. One, either distance is good, or if you at all feel uneasy that it's not looking great, just think settle and keep her as straight as possible. And honestly, if she gets a little bit under it, especially at home, whatever, just let it happen. And just stay there. Try and not, especially with a horse like her, to ever think you're going to move up to it. You'd rather almost be a little off of it, maintaining the same balance, and she's just going to jump a touch bigger, but she's then going to land in balance. And I think that's the key, or the gauge of your success should be the canter quality, sort of 2 strides on the backside. So if on the backside you feel like you're getting towed away, okay, well then you probably were subpart balance on the front side and potentially pushed her, had to push her, whatever, that made your job a lot more difficult. So why don't we just try, we got a little circle here, trot poles, and then just basically a 20-meter circle. Trot poles, wrap around, trot, and you're gonna trot the little rock oxer, but land turning, so you're just gonna remain on the circle. The jump's just gonna happen to get in the way. Yeah, exactly. So you then land, obviously a couple steps canter, back to the trot the poles. Good, so just a little bit more bend, touch rounder. Good, so you have just a fraction sort of inside flexion, and then everything as far as turning then happens with your outside rein, outside leg. And just the same sort of feeling you got there, just wrap your leg around her. If she feels like she stalls in front, it doesn't matter, little leg. Good, and then turning. Good, totally cool. And then back to your trot. So basically, regardless how it happens, I want you to stick to the circle. So potentially it's a little sketchy, or she lands out of balance or whatever it might be. The turn actually in the end is going to help her a lot. Yeah, keep turning. Good job. Keep turning. Good. And then flowing into the trot, keep coming. Big step. So the moment she's committed to the trot, wrap your leg around her and think a little bit larger step. She often, when she goes to add, is she sort of stalls and stabs the ground, and then you end up without any power at the base. Good. Good. And then back to the trot, now flowing. Better. Really good. Good. Excellent. So then after the ox, you're going to hook a left. So same idea, just a left circle, probably 15 meters, so you're not into the arena. Good. And one more time trotting it, and then we'll just end up on a canter figure 8 circle. Yep, turning. So you're going to sort of just tighten down, especially on that left circle. Tighten down the size a little bit. Good, so we're just going to alternate directions over top. So you're going to land cantering, this time land cantering right circle, oxer, land cantering left circle. Yep, and you're going to just keep turning. So everything's gonna end up on a tighter, shorter approach. Basically just let the circle be, that's totally cool, perfect, good. Now turning, and let her go a little bit. Yeah, good. Good, and turn in. Yep, good, and then land left circle, left lead. Totally cool. Good, oh, so you're gonna left lead. We can just go canter from now on. Okay. Yep, you're good. Good. Easy, excellent. Good. Good, and now just settle, right? Just a little slower, almost feel like you're on the verge of her breaking to the trot. Good job. Good. Good, let her flow now. That's a perfect canter. Keep this all the way to the base of the jump. Keep coming. Good, then easy. Totally cool. I love it. I don't mind at all. If the distance isn't perfect, again, just shoulders back, wait for it, just close your fingers on it. On the right circle, you can be outside of those rails for this time. Good. That's awesome. Good, keep coming. A little bigger step, and you're gonna be outside the red trot poles there at on the right circle. Good. Good, and then flow, flow, let her be, let her be. Good job, there it is. Good, that's your canter. Easy. Good, okay, good, and then let her walk. So it's tricky on the landing. If you've gotten there well, right? She actually lands often at a pretty good balance, but she tends to land and almost like she lands in a hole and stalls for a second. Right. So in a weird way, not that you want to put a lot of leg on, but think about just wrapping your sort of almost hugging her with your leg, and think about press her away from the fence for the first sort of 2 steps. The moment she's into a normal canter, then just ease off. You go hands off, just let her continue. Yeah, I mean, she's got a wicked hind end when you really have it. Yeah, I mean, I got knocked loose a couple times too. I mean, it happens, right? So
probably
just
a big grin on your face.
Yeah, I mean, well, it happens. But the thing is, when that happens, just know that she's going to land almost like she's doing a little bit of handstand. Right. The first step away is not going to be as big as you would like, right? When you get that really exuberant hind end situation, right? She almost does. Yeah. So you've got to think on a, yeah. Well, we'll get right to that. But on something that's an open distance, we'll talk about it when we get there, but think about keep coming in with an open step first off so that you can remain sort of the same or just ever so slightly quieting as you're coming to the fence always. One more time, we'll do your figure 8 cantering. And just think probably from the time sort of mid-flight until like here-ish, you're just wrapping your leg around her. Then the moment you've got a stabilized canter, then you can go light with it. On the turn, I totally get it. Once she sees the jump, a lot of times she'll start to cut left or right or whatever it might be. As that happens, then same idea, actually start wrapping your leg around. You might have a slight increase in contact, but you're just trying to keep her body as straight as possible. Got it. Just wrap your leg, just stay there. It's okay, doesn't matter at all. Press her, yep, good. Good, now you're neutral. Good, now a little support with your inside leg especially. There you go, beautiful. That's all right, press her away, good. Excellent, one more turn like that. So again, now little right, left leg, press her up to your hand. Good job, good. That's all right. One last jump, just think straight over top. She's anticipating now the turn, right? So she wants to cut in. So just guide her, keep the contact the same. Good job, there it is, perfect. Good, okay, good, let her walk.